Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is our menus. We have talked about this main menu bar that's up here, but Maya has some hidden menus that can help us access all these other menus up here and without having to move the mouse up and like look for certain things, especially things that are not visible right now. So we have what we call the hotbox. The hotbox is that menu we just used in the previous video, where you hold down the space bar and a menu pops up here. So this is what's called the hotbox. The hotbox gives us a kind of broken down aspect of our menus. So right here on the top, you see the menus that are constant in our main menu bar. So remember we talked about from file to Windows, that's up to here. Then we have the cache, the annual, and the help. Those menus are constant anytime we change our menu sets. Okay, then this one has to now do with the view, shading, lighting. This is the menus for the viewports. This one's right here. Okay, then this ones will show us recent commands that we just used. This one will show hotbox controls. Then this is the Maya. If you want to click on different viewports, like I said, you click on the left mouse button and you can go into any of the menus. You can also change the hotbox style so that you will see only some specific kinds of menus. So I'm going to that right now. Then here we have the specific menus that work with different menu sets. So these menus are the menus that work with this menu set, modeling menu sets. Okay, these menus work with the second menu set, which is rigging. These are the menus that will be added to this ones. This one are the other menus that work with the animation. These are menus that work with the FX, and these are menus that work with rendering. So right now you can see mesh, edit mesh, mesh tools, and curves, these which are the ones we see right here. Okay, if I change to the rigging menu set and hold down my spacebar, you'll see that I have skeleton skin deform constraint, which is skeleton skin deform constraint, the same things we have here, and on like that. So the 5 different menu sets are the ones that are shown here. So this is a hotbox menu. So if I don't want to come here and be changing or clicking menus, I can just come from my hotbox menu and select a menu from here. So let's say, for instance, I select deform, I click on this, it will now bring out the deform menu for me. It doesn't need to change this one, it will just bring out that menu for me, and it will bring it out detachable. So okay, now anytime we click on the menu, you can actually break open the menu. Anytime you see these two bars on top here, you see that blue line, or if you broke into another menu, you see it here. So if you want to detach a menu, you can just click on those lines and the menu becomes undocked from it. Doesn't mean it's not there, it's still here, but I just don't want to be coming in there anyway, so I can just undock it and keep it on the side of my screen so that I can access the tools. When I'm done with it, I close it. It doesn't affect the menu showing up here, it just makes it easy for me to get to the menus. Okay, so anytime you want to undock a particular menu, like you want to work with the mesh tools, you can click on the mesh tools and drag them here so that you can access all your tools without having to go back and forth. Okay, there's another set of menus that we call the marking menus. Now those menus are 3 in number, as in based on the way we select them, usually with the right mouse button. So right now no object is selected. If I click on the scene, I will only get these 2 menus. Okay, these 2 hotbox menus, or they are called marking menus actually. Oh, so hidden menus. Now if I hold down shift and right click, I will get this menu to create a new object Now notice that's because no object is selected on my scene right now. So if I hold down shift and right mouse button, I have the opportunity to create a new object or go into a new tool. So I can, for instance, create a helix. I need to create a helix. Okay, so now I can see my helix there, and that's because nothing was selected. Okay, then now if I have an object selected, just like this helix is selected now, if I right click without the shift key, I'll have options on how to manipulate my object. Like I can go into the object mode, edge mode, vertex and face or multi mode, or I can go into the UV mode. It will make me work with the project, and I can have some options to come into different selection and material assignments. So that's just the right click on an object. It's something that I would do anytime you click on any object and right click, you have that menu. But this menu changes based on the object. Right now this is a polygon, so if I create, like for instance, if I come here, this is called a shelf. So if I come here and create probably a knob sphere, it's going to create a sphere also, where it's a knob sphere. So we'll get to understand all these objects soon. Okay, then if I right click on this one while this one is selected, I will have different selections. So I have isopalm, control vertex and stuff. It's kind of different from when I have this one, because these two modeling objects are different in creation, different in make. So any of them will give us a different menu, but it will give us the same menu, things that pertain to the manipulation of the object itself as a whole. So if I hold down the shift key and right click, then I have things that pertain to the editing of the object from the components or even as a whole. So I can use, you can see I have the weld tool, fill holes, I have smooth, I have the crease tool, I have triangulate and some other tools there. I have the edge loop cut tool. So when I want to make changes to this object, I'll hold down shift and right click to access these tools. And most of these tools are the tools we find in the mesh tools and edit mesh tool, right? Then if I control and right click while a tool is selected, control and right click will give me another kind of menu that will bring out some other selections that will help me select or operate an object based on a specific kind of component selection. So now remembering, we have 3 marking menu selections. Using the right click alone will bring out one kind of menu. Holding down shift and right click bring out another kind of menu that has to do with editing the objects from its point of view, and control and right click will bring out further editing techniques that has to do with selections of the object in a specific component mode. So those are the menus we have. So we have the hotbox and we have the marking menus. Those are menus that enable us use tools that are in all these other menu sets, but we won't need to always come and be changing the menu set to access those menus. So that's why we use these other hidden menus.